I had kittens wanting to come in here, but I closed the door so that they don't come distract, climb all over me. So I don't know about you folks, but it's been a full-on week for me, and today was no exception. Hello, hello. So I'm looking forward to getting grounded with you and focusing on our breath, focusing on some movement. Let's give a couple more minutes here for people to come on board. For those that are just joining, I really encourage you to make your space as cozy and welcoming as possible. Play with lighting, make sure you've got water, make sure you've got a blanket or block or pillow or anything you need to lift your hips up a little bit when we're seated. Maybe begin to think about an intention for either your practice or your week. Maybe begin to bring your focus out of your head and bring it down in your body. Have that intention to feel with the lower chakras, feel with the root of yourself a little bit more. You can begin playing with your breath. I'm just going to give like 2 more minutes because I think I'm expecting a couple more people. Here we go. Hi, Olaru. Look at this lovely group of people. Thank you all for joining me. This is awesome. Well, I'll just give you a couple more seconds here to get centered, to get yourself ready, get yourself set up. And I love seeing when your cameras are on, but by no means do you have to have your camera on. Those that have turned the camera off, like, you're totally welcome to do that if that makes you feel more comfortable. I totally understand. So anyways, as I was saying, this week has been crazy busy. I had heard someone else saying, I think through on Facebook, someone that I follow, a really beautiful woman who does spiritual work, and she was commenting on how she feels like life has just really sped up. That it feels like there's not time enough in any day to get anything done, or to get everything done that we want to get done. And there's this feeling of like you're always trying to catch up. And she reminded me, and I'd like to pass this along to you, to take a step back and remember what matters. Connect again to what matters in heart and soul, to family, to friends, to the earth, to what our true intentions are, and try to get out of the busyness that happens in the head that can cause your nervous system to speed up, that can cause the body to go into a reaction of fight or flight, and to take a step back and to help calm that down through breath and through intention of centering oneself, bringing that focus, bringing where we are constantly up in our heads, and bring that focus down into our bellies, into our lower parts of ourselves, and see what happens when we direct our focus that way. And how we deepen, how we can become more conscious of the whole self, of what truly matters and what we are connected to. So I called this practice Connect for a reason. Slowly, we're working up through the chakras in this series. We've started with the root chakra, and now we're in the sacral chakra today. And in that space, we're playing with both sensuality and with movement and with opening and with deepening. Um, but we're also really opening up space for connection to the deeper parts of ourselves. So I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling a little bit as we're letting people come on board here. But I hope you sort of get where I'm coming from a little bit and that it resonates a little bit with yourself and with what you're going through and what life is presenting to you. So let's get going. Let's start to bring our attention into the space. So find a seated position, whether that's in Sukhasana, whether you're on your knees. If hero's pose is more what feels good to you, and if you need something to put behind your knees to lift up a little bit so that there's not so much pressure on your knees, then by all means do that. But find a comfortable seated position where you can sit up nice and tall, where you can lengthen from your sits bones up through the crown of your head, where you can reach with your chest, with your heart, where you can ground through the back body. Maybe tuck your chin just slightly so that your spine is nice and long and you can feel that nice long length from crown to tail. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Perhaps close your eyes as you take a deep breath in. And maybe you sigh it out, let go of the weekend. Let's try that again. Deep breath in. And let something go. Maybe shake your hands out a little bit. Maybe let your shoulders relax. Maybe you rock your head side to side. Just really drop into the moment. Pretend like a pin is just dropped you right here, right into this now. Nothing else matters in this moment. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And with every breath, you can explore how you elongate it, how you lengthen it, how you focus on it, how it brings you back to center. So one more deep breath in together. Long breath out. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Lengthen up through your spine. Feel your attention and your awareness drop down into your belly. And just take a little second here before we transition out of this pose and feel your sacrum. What does that mean to you when you focus your attention on your sacrum? This is where our reproductive organs are. This is where we feel out into the world, where we have compassion for others, where we dance from, when we allow ourselves to dance, where our creativity comes from. Let yourself just be for a second. Be exactly who you are in this moment, and how precious is that? So just take a couple more quiet breaths to yourself here. Just feeling that sacral chakra. Exploring that, letting any images that come, nothing is wrong, everything is right in this moment. And then when you're ready, draw your palms together at heart center, lifting sternum to thumbs. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, bow chin to chest, forehead to fingertips. Give thanks for taking the time to be here today. I'm sure thankful that you're here with me. And set a little intention, whether it's just for this practice, or whether it's for the week ahead, or whether it's for something that you've been focusing on and that you don't know, you just need answers, you need the universe to respond. Just set that intention out there. Nice. Lift chin parallel to the earth. Release your palms. Let's come down to lie flat on our backs. You can move your blanket or your block, whatever you're using aside. We're going to stretch out nice and long. Let those feet be nice and wide at the bottom of your mat. Raise your arms up over your head and get a nice stretch going on here. Maybe rotate your wrists, rotate your ankles. Begin to deepen your breath even more. Since you're all muted and in your own space, you can play with making sound too and not be worried about what others may think, you know. Sigh it out if you need to. And find a little bit of stillness with your arms reaching up, with your legs reaching down towards the bottom edge of your mat. Now we're going to slowly walk the heels over to the left side of the mat. And we're gently going to wiggle our torso and our head and our shoulders over to the top left corner of our mat. Then we're going to grab the right wrist with the left hand, and we're going to find a nice stretch in our right side body. If it feels right to you, you can cross the right ankle over the left so that you've got even more of a stretch in that IT band and up through the side body. But be careful of your hips here, be careful of your knees, and only do what feels right for you. Again, play with your breath, deepening here. Length in all four sides of the torso, but you're getting a nice stretch in the right side body here. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly start to come back through center. And we're going to take it to the other side. So your heels are going to come to the bottom right corner of your mat. And you're going to shimmy your head and shoulders over to the top right corner of your mat. Then you'll grab your left wrist with your right hand and get a nice stretch on the left side body. So you're in like a half moon pose here. Once again, you can cross the left ankle over the right, but be cautious of any hip issues or knee issues there, and just do what feels right to you. And once again, try to breathe deep into your belly. Really exaggerate that stretch. Feel the skin stretching itself on your left side body here. One more deep breath in. And on your exhale, come back through center. Now we're going to engage our abs here. We're going to sort of like hug navel to spine, if that makes sense, so that your lower back is really flush with the mat. Bring your palms to the mat as sort of a support here. And then you're going to take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, lift the knees up towards the chest. Feel how that action of grounding navel to spine and your back to the mat helps with that action of lifting your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug here, or maybe rock back and forth so that you really feel you're connected to the mat, to the earth. You can bring your nose up to your knees if you would like. Just have some fun, maybe playing around with rolling around here a little bit. Then release your head back to the mat. Bring your arms to cactus arms or goalpost arms beside you so that the backs of your palm or your hands are on the floor. Your elbows are at a 90-degree angle. Knees are bent over your hips. Then we're going to take your knees over to the left side and get a nice twist. So you're letting your left thigh come to the ground. You're making sure that your right shoulder is still connected with the mat. You can even turn to look past your right elbow so that you really get a nice twist here. Once again, breathe into the posture. And then deep breath in. And on your next exhale, come back through center, really engage those core muscles as you take it over to the other side. So knees are coming over to the right side now. Right thigh is on the floor. Left shoulder is still planted on the mat. And you can look past your left shoulder and get even more of a twist here. Breathe into your lower belly. It's up to you to keep maintaining the breath, opening and expanding. One more deep breath in. And on an exhale, hug navel to spine, really use those core muscles and come back to center. Now you're going to bring your palms back down to the mat beside you. Knees are still lifted, and you're lifting your shins parallel to your ceiling. You're trying to bring your knees over your hips, and your knees are at a 90-degree angle. If you need to bring them back a little bit so that your lower back is flush with the mat, then please do so. You want to be engaging your core here, so you're hugging navel to spine. Once you've got yourself set up, you're going to take a deep breath in, and on an exhale, you're going to gently tap the right toes to the mat. Lift it back up. Gently tap the left toes to the mat. Lift it back up. Now we're just alternating back and forth here, getting a little bit of core engagement going on, toning those muscles and working to keep the lower back flush with the mat. Relaxing your shoulders away from your ears, trying not to have any tension in your neck or your jaw. Relax the skin of the forehead. Just gently alternating, tapping your toes down on the mat here. Keep with your breath. Let's keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Nice. Hugging your knees back into your chest. Let that go. Then let your head come back to the mat. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. And give a little pat. Up and down. Let's get some energy happening in the backs of your thighs. Pat your backs of your thighs. Make some noise here. Get the blood moving. Move up and down, up and down. Then when you've had enough, you can start to roll it up to the top of the mat. You might want to roll a couple of times up and down the spine, exhaling as you come back and inhaling as you come up. Just have a little bit of fun here. And then when you rise up, you're going to come to Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. So the soles of your feet are together. If you need to, you can extend, make your diamond shape a little bit bigger instead of feeling like you have to hike your heels up to your sits bones. So just give yourself the space that you need. Sit up nice and tall. Find that sits bone to crown connection again. You're grabbing onto your ankles or onto your big toes or onto your feet, depending on how far away you've placed your feet, because you want to sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale out. Then on your next inhale, you're going to start to reach your chest forward in a circle and then around and back. And when you're in the back position, your navel's hugging to spine. Breathe in as you reach forward. You're moving from your center here, sort of a coffee grinder type, if you know what I mean, those old coffee grinders. You're trying to, you're flexing and stretching your spine. Moving forward, your sternum comes forward. Moving back, you're rounding your shoulders. Forward, around, and back. Moving with your breath. Reverse your circle if you haven't already. Nice big circles here, moving from center. Your thighs are nice and heavy, keeping your feet where they are. One more circle. When you're back and your shoulders are rounded, really exaggerate that pose, chin to chest, hug navel to spine, nice exhale here. And then slowly we're going to come forward and reach our sternum forward, lift the chin, and allow that to bring us back up to a nice seated position. Next, we're going to start to reach the palms forward and come into a bit of a forward fold here over our feet. So you want to keep your spine nice and long here. You want to be bending at the hips. So if you only come down a little bit, that's okay. We're just getting a nice little hip opener here. Eventually you can round the head towards the toes. If you're someone who's really flexible and you've got your feet up towards your sits bones, you can bring your elbows down to the mat. Be careful of your knees here if you've got knee issues. Let your head dangle forward. Don't forget your breath. Breathe into your belly. One more deep breath here. Long exhale out. On your next inhale, slowly rise back up, always trying to come from your core up into a nice seated position. Nicely done. Take your hands to the outsides of your thighs and gently close your legs. And then we'll find ourselves coming forward onto all fours. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tailbone is lengthening towards the back edge of the mat. Crown is lengthening forward. We're trying to keep the neck nice and long so we're not dangling. We're crunching. We're hugging navel to spine. This is an active pose. Make sure you're pressing into your fingertips and your knuckles. And when you're ready, drop your belly, let your heart shine forward, deep breath in. Maybe wiggle your tail a little bit, really stretch the skin of the belly. Exhale, rounding from your coccyx, rounding up through the spine. Let the crown of the head drop towards the floor. Cat pose. Exhale out. Inhale, cow pose. Let the heart shine forward. Exhale, round the spine. Really press up out of the earth. Press out of your palms. Press out of your feet. Exhale out. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, heart shines forward. Exhale, round through the spine. Now you might start to create some organic movement here. You could come back to center and you could bump your hips to the left. Deep breath in. Come back to center and bump the hips to the right. Look over your left shoulder. You might come back into a child's pose. Feel it out here. You might come forward into a cobra. Just find some organic movement here. You might play with rounding the hips, doing figure of eights with your hips. Just really get some, the juices flowing. And don't decide where it ends. Find some organic movement here. Eventually, you're going to curl your toes under, walk your palms forward a little bit, and lift your hips up high and back to downward facing dog. Once you arrive there, pedal it out, stretch out through the hamstrings, backs of the legs. Really focus on shining your sits bones up towards the sky. Press into both palms evenly. Really grounding through your fingerprints and your knuckles to take pressure out of the wrists. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Make sure your neck is nice and loose. Shoulders are away from the ears. Your elbow creases are shining towards the front edge of the mat. Once you've worked it out a little bit, let's take 3 deep breaths here. Just find some stillness and allow your breath to move you. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Let something go. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Nicely done. Now gently bend your knees, and we're going to crisscross, slow walk up to the front edge of the mat. So first cross your left foot over your right foot over your left, and slowly make your way to the top edge of the mat. Feet are hip width apart, toes pointing forward, knees are bent as generously as you need, and we find ourselves in our forward fold. You can clasp the elbows. You can walk the fingertips to one side and then the other. Just work it out here for a little bit. Keep your neck nice and loose. Let your head really drop forward. The more you bend your knees, the nicer you'll get a stretch in your lower back if that's what you need, if that's what feels good. Then eventually you can bring your fingertips back to the mat, bend the knees generously, and slowly roll it up to mountain. See how slow you can go. When you arrive, make any adjustments needed. You may want to fix your pants, fix your shirt, lick your lips, take a sip of water. Then stand up nice and tall. Really feel your center underneath you. So your sacrum is under your heart. which is under the crown of your head. So you're feeling this upward current of energy through the front body and this downward current of energy through the back body. Shoulders are away from the ears, palms are open and facing forward. Really feel the earth underneath your feet. Try to ground through all four corners of your feet, so the big toe mound, the pinky toe mound, and the back two corners of your heels. Try to distribute the weight evenly. When you're ready, soft knees, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, slice it down through the midline, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms come to the tops of the thighs, elbows hug into the side body. Your tailbone reaches towards the back edge of the mat. Your crown reaches forward. Don't lock in the knees. Deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Spread your fingertips wide. Reach up towards the sky. Palms come together and come back down towards the heart. Let's flow one more time like that. Soft knees, reach up towards the sky. Maybe look up. Palms come together, slice it down the midline. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Find length, find something new. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Spread the fingertips. Reach up towards the sky. Nice big stretch. Palms come together. Exhale, back down towards the heart. Now this time we're going to interlace our fingertips and we're going to push the palms forward, up and back so that our palms are reaching up and interlaced towards the sky. We're going to take a deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to bump the hips to the left and bring the arms over towards the right. Deep breath in here. Your core is nice and engaged. Your sternum is lifting up towards the sky. Maybe you look up. Exhale, back to center. Deep breath in. Exhale, bump the hips to the right. Bring your arms towards the left. Really stretch here. Engage your center. Keep your feet where they are. Try to distribute the weight evenly. And inhale, back to center. Nice. Then let it all go. Spread your fingertips wide and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time you're going to bring the right palm to the mat. If it doesn't come to the mat and you need a block here, you're welcome to grab your block to lift the earth up to you. Otherwise, you're bringing your fingertips or your palm to the mat. And you're bending the right knee, straightening the left knee or leg, and tracing a line across your right arm, across your chest, and reaching those left fingertips up towards the sky. Getting a nice twist here, stretching in the left hamstring. Maybe look up towards your fingertips if that feels comfortable. Exhale, release, forward fold. Left hand replaces the right. We bend the left knee, we straighten the right knee, and we trace a line across our left arm, across our chest, and reach the right fingertips up towards the sky. Deep breaths here, stretching the hamstrings of the right leg. Maybe you look up past your right fingertips. Challenge yourself a little bit. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Then we're going to bend the knees generously. Reach the fingertips forward and up beside our ears, our arms, and we're bending at the knees, and we're coming into a chair pose. You're sinking your hips back. Your tailbone is lengthening down. Your core is engaged. You're looking down past your nose at a point in front of you, so your neck is nice and long. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. Let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Fingertips spread wide and reach up towards the sky. Exhale, palms together at the heart. Soft knees. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. This time, palms come to the mat, and we're stepping the right foot back, just the right foot back, coming into a low lunge. Lower the back knee. Now you can keep your back toes curled under, or bring the top of that foot to the mat. Whatever feels right for you in your knee here. You may want to pad your knee here as well. Your chest is shining forward. You're not crunching in the back of the neck. You're squeezing everything to the midline. You're not dumping into your hip here. You're being cautious and engaging the muscles of the body. Deep inhale. Exhale, lift that back knee, plant the palms, step the left foot back into a plank. Lower the knees, lift the toes. So you're in a half plank here. Then you're lowering chest and chin, coming through to a cobra, lowering your feet to the mat. Deep inhale. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat. Curl the toes under. Inhale to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Deep breath in, long breath out. Then we're going to drop the left heel and inhale, lift the right leg high. Bend the right knee and bring knee to nose. Now you can drop the back knee and step the right foot up between your palms. In our low lunge again on this side, sternum is shining forward. You can keep your toes curled under or plant that back foot. You might find more stability there, hugging everything to the midline. Deep breath in, long breath out. Then we're going to curl the toes under, lift up that back knee, and then bend both knees, find a little momentum, and step that back foot up to meet the front. This time it's your choice if you want to have feet flush together or hip width apart. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, fingertips spread wide, reach up towards the sky. Palms kiss together and come back down to the heart. Nicely done. Now from your mountain, find a focus out in front of you. Find a drishti, something that you can land your gaze on to help you maintain balance. We're going to slowly shift our weight to our left leg and begin to lift the right heel. Play with your balance here. And then as you're ready, begin to lift the right knee. Hug everything to the midline. Engage your core here. You're working on balance, or you're here, or you're here. Whatever variation works for you. Your knee is lifted. We're going to slowly start to send that right foot back. We're not coming into a full warrior three. We're just sending it at an angle. We're practicing with balance here. Keep your focus, keep your drishti. You may want to reach your fingertips up above your head. Practice with your balance a little bit more with your stability. If you want to, you can lean forward a bit more, come into a bit more of a warrior three. If you've had your foot on your toe on the ground, that's totally awesome too. You're still playing with balance here. So your toe can be on the ground or it can be lifted. One more deep breath here, and then trust that the ground is there to meet you and step back into a high lunge. So you're on your back, right toes, front knee is bent, sternum is lifted, hips are facing forward, arms are reaching up towards the sky. Deep breath in, maybe you look up. Exhale, settle into the pose. On your next deep breath in, you're going to launch, if you can, off of that back foot and come back into your warrior three variation. If it takes a couple little hops, who cares, right? You're working on your balance. Now from here, you're slowly going to bring that right knee through center line, try to hug it to the midline, bring it back up towards your chest, arms are still lifted, perhaps you look up, exhale, release that right foot to the mat. Oh, shake it off. However you did with that, you did awesome, you practiced. Maybe shake the legs a little bit. Then come back to your mountain. Soft knees, inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Wash it off. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Fingertips kiss overhead. Palms come together at the heart. Now we're going to try the same thing on the other side. So begin to distribute your weight into your right leg, onto your right foot, and you're slowly peeling the left heel up. Eventually, you're going to start to play with lifting the left knee, or you're keeping your toes on the ground. Try not to dump your weight into your right hip. You're not doing this. You're having integrity, and you're working from your core, and you're paying attention to the strength in that right hip. Take a couple breaths here. Then on your next exhale, you're going to start to shoot that left foot back. Whether it's on the ground or whether you have it lifted, you're coming into your warrior three variation. You're sending that left heel back towards the back edge of the mat. You're maintaining integrity throughout your core. Maybe you're reaching your fingertips past your ears, past your crown of your head. If you're more of an experienced yogi, maybe you're coming into more of a Virabhadrasana 3 variation here. Or maybe you're just keeping it at a nice angle and maybe your toes are on the ground. Lifting up out of that right hip, don't collapse. Maintain integrity in the core. One more deep breath here. Exhale, trust that the earth is there to catch you and come back into your high lunge. You're on your back, on your left toes. Right knee is bent over right ankle. Hips are squared forward. You're pulling that right hip crease back. Sternum is lifting up towards the sky. Fingertips are reaching up past the crown. Palms are facing each other. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Maybe you inhale and look up. Then on your next exhale, you're going to rock on that back foot and launch yourself back into your warrior three variation. Find what works for you. You know, if you still have to keep your foot on the ground, you're still working on it. You're still doing awesome. You're rocking it. And eventually you're going to bend that left knee, bring it back through center. Try to maintain your balance. Try to lift that left knee up towards the heart. You can do it. Then just gently set it back down to meet its partner. Nicely done. Shake it off again. Shake those legs, shake those hips. Be proud of yourself for giving it a go, however you did. So now comes the challenging part. Ha ha. You can center yourself on your mat. Bring your feet flush together. This is where you may want to have your block. So we're going to start on the right side. So if you want to, you can place a block right beside your right foot, if that'll help you with your balance. Bring your palms together at your heart. Stand up nice and tall. Find your sternum underneath you. Find your center underneath you. Lift your sternum towards your thumbs. Stand up nice and tall. Start to distribute your weight to your right foot again. And lift that left knee. Then we're going to cross the left knee over the right knee and come into our eagle pose. Sink the hips back. This is where you can place your left toes on your block and help keep your balance. Spread your arms wide. Bring your right arm under your left arm and come into eagle arms. Palms are kissing together. You're lifting your elbows up. You're lengthening your tailbone down. You're bending at the hips. Your hips are nice and back. You're wrapping that left leg around the right. Sink a little deeper if you can. Try not to wobble. And then inhale, lift back up and release. Try to set that foot down with grace. Nicely done. Shake it off again if you need to. Then come back to your mountain pose. Remember, this is about connecting. Connect to your center. Connect to what matters inside. Connect and ground. Bring palms together at your heart. Lift sternum to thumbs. Begin to distribute your weight into your left foot. So if you need to move your block to your left side, do so now. And begin to peel that left foot, the left heel up off the mat. Eventually you'll lift your right knee. Lift that right knee, and then you're going to cross that right leg over the left. Woo. Send the hips back. Engage your core. You can this is where you can rest your toes on that block on the left side. Spread the arms wide. Bring left arm underneath the right. Palms kiss together in eagle arms. Lift the elbows. If you wobble, it's all good. You're practicing. Send the hips back. Maybe lower just a little bit more. Then inhale, rise back up and let it go. Shake it off. Come to the top of your mat. Feet flush together. Soft knees. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Now just take a minute here to notice your breath, to notice how you feel, to notice how did you lean into trying to discover those poses, into dealing with them in your body. Were you able to connect with all parts of yourself? Take a couple deep breaths. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let your heart rate calm down. Nice. Soft knees. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale all the way down the midline, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold.
Palms come to the mat. Step one foot back, then the other. Come to a plank pose. Take a couple breaths here. Maybe rock back and forth on your toes. Hug navel to spine. Your shoulder blades are spread across your back body. You're pushing up out of the earth. And then gently lower your knees to the mat. Shift your feet to one side, any side. Come onto your bum. And let's come back down onto our backs. This time we're going to hug our knees into our chest right away. Find that rocking back and forth. Find our breath again. And when you're ready, you're going to reach between your knees, grab onto the outer edge of your feet, raise the feet towards the sky, and come into happy baby. Find some organic movement here. Maybe you straighten one leg and then the other. Reconnect with your breath. Find some resistance between the soles of your feet and your hands. And when you've had enough, you can let that go and maybe let your feet hit the mat with a thud. You can try that again if you want. Lift your knees up and let the feet hit the mat. And send your legs out nice and long. Once again, reach your hands up past your crown. Find a little organic movement here and stretch. And then hug navel to spine and bring your right knee up towards your chest. Deep breath out. Grab onto that right knee with your left hand. Draw that right knee across to the left side of your mat. Spread that right arm out so that your right shoulder is connected with the mat and you're looking past your right fingertips. And deep breath in and long breath out. Let it all go. Let your breath come back to its natural rhythm. Ground back down into yourself. For your next inhale, come back to center. Hug that right knee into your chest. And then switch. Bring the left knee in. Send the right leg out long. Take the right hand to the left knee and draw that left knee over towards the right side of your mat. Stretch the right arm out long. Look past, your left arm, look past your left fingertips. Make sure your left shoulder is still grounded into the mat. Relax your neck, relax your jaw, relax the skin of the forehead. Find your breath again. On your next inhale, come back to center and hug that left knee into your chest. Then you're going to bend both knees. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees come out wide. Feet are on the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Take your hands and maybe massage your hips. Give your thighs a nice little massage. Work it out a little bit here. Give yourself some self-love. Maybe you rub your belly a little bit in a clockwise motion, help with digestion, help with calming the nervous system and grounding back down. Eventually, maybe you find stillness with your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly.
Close your eyes for a second here. Breathe into that right hand. Feel your own heartbeat. Feel how different your body feels, no matter what experience you had with that flow. Now as compared to before you started. With each exhale, you have an opportunity just to let yourself sink more and more into your mat, feel more and more connected with the earth. If your hips don't like this position, you can bring your fingertips to the outsides of your legs, close the knees, bring the feet as wide as your yoga mat, and allow the knees to fall into center so that there's no holding, no gripping. There's just allowing yourself to relax and your lower back is nicely connected with the mat. Maybe you bring your palms face up to your sides, snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you so that your shoulders are relaxed away from your ears. Allow yourself just to go inward for a second. Find one thing, just one thing that you're grateful for today. And allow that to resonate through your body. Really feel it from the center of your being. It can be something as simple as, that you had a really good meal today and you cooked it yourself and you're really grateful for that. Or you're really grateful for someone who did something kind for you today. Or you're grateful that you were able to go for a walk. Or that it didn't snow when it was supposed to. Now slowly begin to deepen your breath again and allow that to be what brings some movement to your fingertips and your toes. Maybe you rock your head from one side to the other. And eventually roll onto one side, any side. Come into a fetal position with your knees hiked up towards your chest. Your lower arm underneath your head as a little pillow. Just rest here for a moment in your own little cocoon. And when you're ready, push into the mat with your upper arm and bring yourself back up to a seated position. Whatever that position is, whether it's Sukhasana or on your knees or whether you're needing a chair or whatever it is, find your nice length in your spine again. Your sits bones really connected to whatever surface they're on. Your crown really reaching up towards the sky. Shoulders are relaxing away from your ears. Bring your palms together at your heart. Deep breath in. On an exhale, bow chin to chest. Thank you for joining me today. I love your energy and your presence and that you all keep showing up. What an honor to be your guide. I hope you got something out of this practice today. And I hope I see you again in 2 weeks from now. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, bring thumbs to third eye and whisper namaste.
Thank you, Tamu. That was beautiful.
Thank you for being here, Gretchen.
Thanks, T. So good.
Yay. Thanks,
Yeah.
Jen.
Thanks, T. Love you.
Love you.
Viola.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you next time, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.